Hey everyone, B here. Wow, we've been on an amazing storytelling journey. We've picked a theme, chosen a genre, planned our characters and events, and written our first draft. Now it's time for a super important next step, revising. When we revise, we look at our writing as a whole and decide how it can be improved. We make our writing better, not just by fixing mistakes, but by making it clearer and more organized for the reader. We want every part of our story to connect to our theme, from beginning to end. You should be pretty familiar with my story by now. As a reminder, I've written about the shelter cat who doesn't feel safe in her new home until she gets love from the family dog. Everything in my story works together to show the theme. When someone goes through a challenge, they can still feel better if they get love and care. We've used our revising tool, ARMS, before, and now we'll use it again to help us spot the ways to make our story even better. We know that in the first step of ARMS, we look for things we can add to our writing. When checking your story with a theme, you should look for details that may help your readers imagine the scene better, or any places that may be missing a tie-in with the theme. Let's check out the beginning of my story. One morning, a cat peered out from the corner of her crate at the shelter. She had been at the shelter for weeks, hiding and watching. Then one day, a family arrived. They spoke gently and smiled softly. The next thing the cat knew, she was in a car heading to a new place, a house with soft blankets and a big, bouncing dog. Looking at the beginning of my story, I'd like to add some details to help my readers understand the cat more. Notice how I say she had been at the shelter for weeks, hiding and watching? I should add something to help readers understand her actions and emotions. Pause here and record what you would add to explain the cat's backstory. I can add more details to help my reader understand more about the cat, like loud noises made her flinch. Something had hurt her before. That can really help readers picture what she's been through and understand that she's not just shy, she's been scared and unsure. That helps build the theme, right? When you look for information to add, remember to check every part of your story. Now it's time for the R. Remove. This means removing parts that don't match your theme or words that repeat things you've already said. Removing extra pieces can help your theme stand out even more. Take a look at the middle part of my story. I just noticed something. There's a detail here that doesn't really help show what the story is about. It kind of pulls the reader away from the theme. Do you see it too? What could you remove to help keep the focus on the cat's journey? Pause here and record your idea. The details about the curtains don't really help the theme or show how the cat is feeling. It just tells what the room looks like. Even though it describes the setting, it doesn't belong here. It takes attention away from the cat's feelings, which connect more to the theme. Removing extra details helps the reader stay focused on what really matters, the theme. Next up, M, move. This step is all about checking that the events are in an order that makes sense. It helps us make sure the beginning, middle, and end do their jobs and that the story builds in a way that clearly shows the theme. If the plot is out of order or confusing, the theme won't shine through for the reader. Let's look at the beginning of the story to make sure we're introducing the characters and setting. Did I do both of those things? Yes. I introduced the cat and the setting at the start of the story in the shelter. Great! Now we can check the middle. This part should show a challenge the character is facing and keep the theme in mind. I did that by explaining that the cat is still scared, even in her new home. And the dog's kindness even gives a hint at the theme. Looks like I have those in the right order in a way that makes sense. Last, let's move on to the end. Is my story told in a logical order? Is the theme present throughout the story? Do I need to move anything around? Pause here and circle yes or no for each question in your guided notes. I showed how the problem got solved in a gentle, believable way as the cat begins to feel safe. I know that my ending is strong and in an order that makes sense with the rest of my story. When you check your own writing and something you just looked at is out of place, you might need to add or move some details. After looking through it all, I don't think I need to move anything around. That means I'm ready for the last step. Last up is S, substitute. We can replace words or sentences with other ones to make the feeling clearer or the message stronger. Maybe you swap a plain word for one that shows more emotion, or change a sentence so it connects better to what the character is learning or feeling. As we've been revising today, I realized a pretty big part of my story that I'm ready to substitute. Think about my characters. Can you spot a detail that needs to be substituted to help readers relate to the characters more? Pause here and record your thoughts. I want to make a small change that really matters to me. In my draft, I kept saying the cat and the dog, but now that I've spent time with them in the story, I feel like they deserve names, just like real animals do when they're loved and part of a family. I'm going to substitute the cat with Whiskers and the dog with Biscuit. Giving them names makes the story feel more personal and shows my theme of love and care. Whiskers isn't just a cat anymore, she's somebody. And Biscuit, he's not just a loud dog, he's the friend who helped Whiskers feel safe. Changing something simple, like a character's name, can help your story connect more deeply to the theme. Even switching out plain words for more detailed synonyms can make your writing clearer and more interesting for your readers. Now it's your turn. Take a look at your draft and use arms to revise your story. After revising, ask yourself, did I make my story stronger and clearer? Does every part of my story connect to my theme from beginning to end? Your theme is what makes your story powerful. You've learned so much about writing a story with a theme, and you're almost finished. I'm so proud of the work you've done with me. Happy writing! And remember, where there are words, there's a world to explore. Hey, hey.